Hi everybody, welcome to engVid.com. I'm Adam. In today's video, I want to give you some more phrasal verbs, but these are phrasal verbs to talk about emotional situations or about emotions themselves. And again, just to review, what is a phrasal verb? A phrasal verb is a verb and a preposition joined together, and when they are joined together, they may have completely different meanings. In some cases, meanings you can't even guess until you've learned these expressions, right? So today we're going to look at lash out, or sometimes lash out at someone. Lighten up, loosen up. It mean essentially the same, so I put them together. To take something out on someone. To get over something or get over it. Stir up. Get to. Tell someone off. Let down. Crack up and blow up. Now the key to remember is that a lot of phrasal verbs have more than one meaning. Some of them are completely unrelated and used in different contexts. So today we're only looking at the emotional context of these phrasal verbs. Let's start with lash out. So first of all, what is lash? So if you think of a whip, like whoosh, I don't know if I do that well, some people do it perfectly. Or in some places when they want to punish you, they take a very thin stick and they hit you on the back. That action to hit is called to lash, to give lashes. And that hit is the lash. So when you lash out at someone, essentially you're attacking them verbally. Not physically, verbally. You're saying some mean things or you're saying some very angry things. Now, it's not always because you want to hurt them. Sometimes it's just like you're so frustrated and the first person that comes in front of you, you just lash out at them. You just attack them for nothing. And then later you can apologize because it's not their fault. So to lash out or to lash out at someone specifically. To lighten up. If somebody says to you, oh, just lighten up. You're too tense. Or loosen up. You're so serious all the time, right? That means relax. Don't be so uptight. It's the opposite of uptight. So if you're too serious, too quiet, maybe a little bit sad, somebody might say this to you, just loosen up, relax, have a good time, especially if you're at a party. They'll say this to you a lot. To take it out on someone, so very similar to lash out. If you have a lot of frustration or a lot of stress and you're angry and you just want to get this anger out of you, you will do it to whoever is available, right? Usually it's the people closest to you, which is unfortunate, but it happens. So you take out your frustrations, your anger on someone. You pass it on to them, you yell at them, you verbally abuse them, etc. It happens. So you just take it out of you, put it onto them. And then that person will tell you, just get over it. Get over whatever problems you have. Just let it go, which is another actual phrasal verb. Forget about it. Whatever happened, let it pass. Don't think about it. Don't worry about it. Don't get stressed about it. And if it's something, especially personal, get over yourself basically means don't think so much about yourself. You're not, the king or the queen of the country. Forget about it. Move on to the next thing. Stir up. Sometimes, like if you watch a movie, for example, a movie will stir up your emotions. They will, if you get a cocktail and you put some different alcohols and ice and then you stir. So something stirs up your emotions and they come up to the surface and maybe you start crying or yelling or laughing or whatever. We can also use this to stir up trouble. So for example, if I'm making fun of you, I'm a little bit stirring you up, means eventually you're going to have a very, very bad reaction and maybe lash out at me for doing that. Get to. If something gets to you, it could be positive or negative. So his, let's say, attacks, somebody at work keeps telling me, oh, you're doing it bad, you're doing it bad, you're doing it bad, but I know I'm not doing it bad. So all those critiques, all the criticism will eventually get to me. It will affect me somehow, usually in a bad way. But in a positive way, I saw a movie and the character's story, like this is a true story, and this character his or her story really got to me. Again, affected, but in a positive way. It made me feel very sad and I wanted to help, or it made me realize that I need to change the way I do things. All kinds of different reactions. But the fact is that something got inside and changed something in me, or made some emotions come up that made me want to change something. So one other way I want to explain, like the first one, the negative one, if somebody gets to you, it can also, another word for that is like annoy. If somebody gets to you, they annoy you. That's another explanation. So then, if somebody gets to you and you're really angry, you can just tell them to F off, or just tell them off, right? To tell someone off is to swear at them and tell them just to go away or say really mean things to them. Not a good situation, but it happens. To let someone down, or just to let down, to be let down, etc., means disappointed. So I had very high expectations. I wanted my daughter to get into university, and I know that she could have done it if she worked a little bit harder. So when she got the rejection letter from the college, I was a little bit let down. I was disappointed. She let me down. She let herself down even more, right? Because she didn't try as hard as she could. Okay, so then crack up. Again, two different meanings. If you hear a really good joke and it makes you crack up, it means laugh really loud and really free. But if you have so much stress in your life and so many bad things happening in your life and a lot of depressed people around you, eventually you can crack up, you can go crazy. So very unrelated meanings. Laugh really freely and really loud, or go a little bit crazy, like your brain cracked and then you don't know what to do with yourself. And then last one, blow up. So there's a literal blow up means explode, but if a person blows up in terms of an emotional context, it means they have a tantrum, which is actually a very good word to know as well. To have a tantrum means like a little child, when he doesn't get his candy, starts screaming and swinging his arms and hitting his feet on the ground. That's a tantrum. So if you blow up at someone, that means you're having a very angry situation. You're yelling at them, you're screaming, maybe you're throwing things against the wall. So they will say that you blew up. Okay? So there you go. A few more phrasal verbs that you can use in everyday contexts. Remember, emotional, some of them have other uses as well. Now, if you want to make sure you understand all of these, go to engVid.com and take the quiz there that I made, and you can review all of these phrasal verbs. And don't forget to come back next time and I'll give you some more useful vocabulary and expressions to study. See you then.